Welcome back to a special edition of Cord Cutting today, where we break down an interesting thing happening in the world of cord cutting: the quick demise of cable TV networks. Comcast is spinning off all their cable networks by the end of this year. They're going to get rid of everything but Bravo. Warner Brothers Discovery is doing the same, but they're going to get rid of theirs next year. They're spinning all theirs off into an independent company, and there's talk others may be doing the same thing with Disney, maybe even spinning off some, if not more. Cable networks up for sale or being sold. Disney's getting rid of its A&E network ownership. Did you know they own half of that? Also, several cable networks are shutting down, including some HBO networks. This has all led to a growing trend of cable TV networks being put in the chopping blocks. So who's next? What's the most likely networks to shut down now for the rest of 2025? We'll break that list down here in a quick second, but first, if you want to read this list instead of hear me talk about it and give my opinion on it, check out the show notes, and in the first pinned comment, I'll put a link to my story about it there. Also, if you like what we do here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people. All right, so my top 10 list of cable networks most likely to shut down as of August 2025 has some new ones on the list and some changes in order. Starting off with remaining at number one, Cartoon Network. Now, Cartoon Network's had a tough time. A lot of its viewers have left. Adult Swim keeps taking over more and more of its time slot, and in a few short weeks, Comcast will dump it from its core packages, moving it to an add-on you'll have to pay extra to get. And this comes as DirecTV has also not included it in some of its new entertainment packages, where Adult Swim is included, but during the day when Cartoon Network airs, the channel just goes dark. Look for this to become one of the most likely channels to shut down. Wouldn't be surprised when you see Adult Swim take over the entire time slot. We have seen layoffs. Warner Brothers Discovery has done several rounds of layoffs at Cartoon Network, and after the last one, some employees there came out and said they're very concerned about the future of Cartoon Network. We'll see what happens, but Cartoon Network is my most likely network to shut down. Kids are just not watching TV like it used to, and Adult Swim is probably a better use of that network time now. Next up, some of the MTV channels. And wouldn't be surprised someday if all the MTV channels are gone. Now with this. Now MTV has been slowly dying from what it was. MTV News is completely gone. A real shame. They didn't just shut it down and say, hey, we're not going to do it. They deleted the entire archive of MTV News. All those great interviews and history of the news they did there are sadly gone now. But with this too, now with Paramount having new leadership, there's been a strong rumor out there that the new leadership is very interested in dumping some of their cable networks. We're already seeing them shut down. Nickelodeon in Canada is going away, for example, internationally, but coming to the United States and getting rid of some. I would be shocked if some of these smaller networks like MTV2, MTV Classic, and others are still here a year from now. Could happen, could be completely wrong, but I suspect some of these smaller networks are going to go away. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if they get rid of all of it. For a while this year, they did big blocks of Friends, testing that out. That hasn't worked. Somebody told me, though, that Big Bang Theory is now airing on MTV. Not a show I expected to hear be an MTV show. But also we're seeing huge blocks of things like Ridiculous and other reruns now airing on MTV as they struggle to fill the time slot. As many of their core audience, the teenagers, early 20s even, are no longer watching MTV like they once did. Because of that, MTV and their sister networks are now my number two network most likely to shut down, with the rumors starting to fly that Paramount's going to be making some cuts. I think they're going to look at MTV as one of the most likely to make a cut too. All right, next up, Boomerang. With the growth of MeTV, Boomerang is definitely high on my list of networks most likely to shut down. MeTV Tunes has really taken off, and it's a joint venture between the MeTV parent company and Warner Brothers Discovery, who also owns Boomerang on this. And with MeTV Tunes there for free and airing on things like Friendly and Philo and more, why have Boomerang? It seems like a redundant network at this point. Keep an eye on it to be one of the options to shut down going forward. In 2024, the number one network that saw the biggest drop during primetime viewership was Teen Nick. from Paramount. Now, we already talked about how there's growing reports that Paramount's new ownership may be much more interested in dumping cable networks. Well, Teen Nick may be on the chopping block. Saw a 53% drop in viewership from 2023 to 2024. And it ranked just 133 out of 153 networks rated in primetime. Because of that, it's jumping up my list as most likely to shut down in 2025. Keep an eye on Teen Nick. All these kid-focused networks. I mean, why watch that when you got YouTube, Crunchyroll, and other things streaming there? I know my teenage daughter now, or almost teenage, a few more weeks, is never watching these networks. She could care less at all about Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, etc. And because of that, Disney XD is another one, another teen-focused, more action network here. Disney XD saw its ratings drop 44% in 2024 versus 2023. Now, it was briefly dropped from Spectrum. It'll be interesting to see now that it's back on Spectrum how its ratings are going to do in a new deal there. But Disney definitely would rather have you be watching the Disney Plus than to watch this. At some point, as we've seen internationally, Disney has shut down many of its cable networks internationally and directed people to Disney Plus. Would not surprise me at all to see that come to the United States soon. And that also includes Disney Junior. Yes. Well, this one's a little less likely. I think Disney XD will probably go on the chopping block first. Keep an eye on Disney Junior. Spectrum dropped it, they brought it back, but there's still a lot of interest in shutting this network down and directing people to Disney Plus. A lot of parents love their kids watching the new Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus. I got a 4-year-old who thinks it's one of the greatest shows ever made. I was actually pretty impressed with it, to be honest with you. But how long till Disney says, well, you know, just kind of come over here and watch it. Give us that monthly fee. Keep an eye on it. Along with that, Nickelodeon Jr. won't go into a lot of details of this, but it saw its primetime ratings drop 39% in 2024 versus the same period in 2025. Look for this one to go away. Why are people watching that? All right, some non-kid networks. We talked about a lot of kid networks, and this comes as Universal Kids. NBC Universal's Kids Network did shut down this year. But National Geographic saw a 29% drop. We're increasingly seeing a lot of this content become exclusive on Disney Plus. Look for that to be one to drop down. BET Networks. Now, I think actually BET's parent network is safe, but they have a lot of smaller networks that are really struggling, like BET Her, BET Hip Hop, BET Soul, and more. Would not surprise me at all to see consolidation in the BET lineup, move it all down, push people to their streaming service, and cut back on the cost here. Even though a lot of these are reruns, you're still paying rights and you're still having people manage it, and there's cost to running these networks. Keep an eye on that. And lastly, FXX. Hulu has really leaned into FX as a Hulu exclusive kind of thing. Why put that content on FXX when it could go to Hulu to try to drive up subscribers with Hulu? We'll keep a close eye on that. But there you go. My top 10 networks most likely to shut down for the rest of 2025. Now that Paramount has been merged, I've talked about this a long time. I suspect that we'll see some of these networks. Paramount was holding off on shutting down things in the United States until its merger was complete. Now it is complete with Skydance. New leadership is taking over. And while that takes a little bit of time, it's not going to be like, oh, they took over today, tomorrow they're shutting this all down. I do expect them to make some painful cuts once they get everything settled in, do some more detailed review of what's happening. There's a lot of networks there that I suspect are just not profitable enough to justify keeping on board. What do you think? What network do you think is most likely to shut down? There are many small networks out there that could shut down. Many of them, though, have interesting niche markets and different things. I think kids networks are some of the most likely to shut down right now. But beyond that, some of these more smaller sub-channels are my next most likely ones. The MTV2, the BET Her, the BET Soul, all these smaller ones. Why not consolidate that down into your main traffic? Instead of splitting your audience between multiple networks, try to consolidate it. We'll wait and see. Let me know what you think. Well, that's it for today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate your support For over 11 years, we've been covering the world of cord cutting here and on our YouTube, or on our website, I should say. This is our YouTube channel. Trying to help you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. We would appreciate your support. Until next time, take care, be safe. I hope you all have a fantastic day.